Hey, this is a video response to a video I was watching. It was actually kind of funny. It had depicted Barack Obama, George Bush, John Pounders, and his boy Curtis dancing as elves, also with an alien, in a very funny type of thing. And I thought originally, oh, well, I should do a response to that and do something really funny. But then I saw this really kind of interesting conversation that was going on in the comments field, and I thought, well, there's my response, something like that, because I noticed there was, kind of a conversation about Santa Claus. And I was like, well, there's some interesting things that I think we can do. Now, a lot of Christians go and they say, well, hey, this Santa Claus thing has really become a bad thing. It's distracting away from Jesus Christ, and which is, of course, the real reason for this season. Well, I wanted to share this book my in laws got me. They shared it with me and my wife. As you can see, it's called A Special Place for Santa, and look, it depicts Santa Claus kneeling at the baby Jesus in the manger. This actually came with a little snow globe, which I like snow globes anyway, but it's the same picture of what you see in the front. And between that and also a website I would like to show you, I've went and dug up here, stnicholascenter.com, all kind of one word. Let me see if I can zoom that in for you. Oop, too far, too close. Let's see. Oh, well, there we go. Whoop, hey, there we go. Oh, wait, oh, there it is. Yes, there you go. There's your website. But I've been looking even at this website to get even more facts. Oh, hey, when I come back, you'll be able to see me. There I am. Okay. So yeah, that looks totally unprofessional, but that's okay. But I was learning a bit more facts about who's the real man, Saint Nicholas. See, we need to be able to learn to use the Santa Claus thing positively around the Christmas time, because there was a real man, Saint Nicholas. Now, a lot of the stories about Saint Nicholas have become legends, sort of like Robin Hood, where we know that there's some truth somewhere in there, but it's gotten a lot of embellishment given over the years and a lot of tradition. But the original man, Saint Nicholas, was around the third century. He was well, when Greece was kind of controlling Turkey, he was around in Turkey as a young lad. He was very wealthy, grew up in a very wealthy family, and he was raised a devout Christian. Actually, when as a young man, took a trip over into the Holy Lands, over into Israel, because he wanted to walk where Jesus walked. Now they say when the trip back, the boat entered a storm, and he prayed earnestly and everything for their safety. And him and the sailors got through the storms just fine and everything, and he became actually the patron saint of sailors. And there's been some embellishment onto that story now. So this big, peace be still sort of thing's been added to him. But in the real truth, yes, that voyage did happen, and they did have a storm. It's also known later that because of his wealth, and he took Jesus very literally when being able to give of his wealth to people who were really in need. And he, being that he came from a very wealthy family, he did actually help out, three young ladies they were very poor, that needed a dowry in order to get married, and he did help them out. And traditionally, and this is probably a bit more embellishment, they say he tossed some gold. Some say a gold ball, but it tossed it through their window, and it landed in their socks or stockings that were hanging by the chimney drying. We don't know how much truth is actually in that, but we do have a tradition that's come from that. But the main thing is, Saint Nicholas. He became the bishop of Myra, Myra. I guess we pronounce it Myra. But he wanted to point to Christ. His entire life was serving God. He wanted to follow what Christ's example was, and point people back to Christ. So that's the main thing. That's what we need to teach our kids. I mean, there's some fun things going on in this silly, big fat guy with a big white beard. But there's some really great grains of truth of where that tradition came from, and the real man of St. Nicholas, even some of the legend stuff, that shows us how we need to live our lives. So I think this Christmas, and the reason why it fell around Christmas, because sometimes it's been, I was looking here, like December the 9th, also December the 16th in the Julian calendar. They actually had a saint day for him, so like we have a day for St. Patrick and a St. Valentine, but there was a saint's day for St. Nicholas, and it just kind of fell together in with Christmas. And in fact, the name Kris Kringle in German actually means little Christ. So use St. Nicholas's story and his example during the Christmas season to show how he pointed and gave his life to Christ, and tried to live out as an example of what Christ taught us to do, and how to love, and how to take care of those that were in need, and how to rely on him in those stormy times in your life. So find a good way to use it. Don't worry about it being all bad, and don't let him distract away from Jesus. And in fact, that's actually what this book is about. It's a little cute story where Santa goes into a church and he's worried about that. Oh my gosh, have I become a distraction away from Jesus? And God intervenes and shows him the life of Saint Nicholas. It's like, no, your life points to Jesus. So remember that. Teach it to your kids. I do recommend this book. Let me get you the author's name. Then I think about it. Well, I don't see the author's name, but it does give a website for the publisher. I'm sorry, this is totally unprofessional, and I just dropped the book because I am very unprofessional today. But I just wanted to share this. Gene Piper, there's the author's name. Special Place for Santa. I highly recommend it. Also, do some research here at stnicholascenter.org. Do a bit more research. You can find some of the legends and some of the real truth, and teach that to your children, so your children can also grow up to be very giving and point their lives towards Christ. Alright, well, that's all I got to say. That's my video response. Hope you enjoyed it, even though it's entirely unprofessional, and I hope you enjoyed having Darth Vader looming over my shoulder about to chop my head off with a lightsaber. Yeah, that really fit. That's very Christmassy, isn't it? Darth Vader? Darth Vader just says Christmas. Wouldn't that be an awesome Christmas special? Actually have some sort of, I don't know, Christmas Carol thing with Darth Vader as Scrooge, and you have him become Anakin again at the end because he was visited by... No, that's not. Actually, probably be a lot better than the old Christmas special that they actually did make. If you don't want to see it, it's bad.